Tonight on CTV News, we take a look at a certain bug that has taken over Fort Collins.
Then we discuss the many clubs on campus and how to get involved.
This plus your CSU sports, weather, entertainment, starting right now.
Good evening, CSU and Fort Collins. Thanks for tuning in to CTV 11. I'm Alexandria Clough.
And I'm Brynn Carman. Many people on campus have noticed the abundance of moths the last few days. In fact, it's the most Fort Collins has seen in over 30 years. The past few days, Fort Collins has been experiencing a moth invasion. The vagabond crambus has taken over the community because of a past outbreak of lawn-feeding caterpillars.
We think that it is a sort of local phenomenon. We don't anticipate it meaning anything. So, sometimes we think giant miller moth numbers equal big problems later. In this case, since there's these giant numbers, and we haven't seen anything like this in over 30 years here in Colorado, nothing of this scale with the sod webworm, what it's actually showing us is a past infestation. So the caterpillars of this moth actually feed on the blades of grass, on grass tips. So that means that during this summer, there were hundreds and thousands of little caterpillars feeding on the grass, and yet almost nobody noticed. There was no calls in about problems in grass or turf dying or anything like that. So it's a past infestation, and this is the remnant of that.
This localized phenomenon is only happening in certain parts of Colorado. Camper thinks this could be caused by a storm pushing the moths in a certain direction, or simply an increase in insect numbers. Whatever the reason, this moth apocalypse is record-breaking.
This is the largest number of this species of moths that we've ever seen here in Colorado, at least in the last 30 years.
While the moths are harmless, the abundance of fluttering vagabond crambus are annoying to some.
Just wave my arms at them, and I do think it's kind of gross. I mean, I guess they aren't hurting anything, but it's just they're everywhere, and then their corpses are everywhere, and it's you can't step or move without touching them,
Camper thinks this isolated event will be over by Friday or Saturday, and that Fort Collins may never experience this spectacular moth swarm again.
After Friday or Saturday, their energy will have petered out and they will die. So there'll be lots of dead moths around, the happy birds.
Like Camper said, the moths are expected to be gone by the weekend, but in the meantime, to avoid the vagabond krampus, keep your blinds closed and your porch light off.
This week, Sierra Magazine released their Cool Schools Green ranking, where CSU was ranked as the 11th most sustainable school in the U.S. The rankings come out once a year and highlight schools that have shown a strong commitment to becoming more sustainable, energy efficient, and environmentally friendly. In recent years, CSU has done just this by focusing on ways to become greener. This has happened through increasing solar power, composting, alternative transportation options, farm-to-table initiatives, and more. This is the third year in a row that CSU has been listed in Sierra's top 20 cool schools.
A beam that was retrieved from the rubble of the World Trade Center will be on display in Fort Collins this weekend. The 5-foot-long and roughly 3,000-pound beam will be at the 9/11 ceremony at Spring Park from 1 to 5 on Sunday afternoon. The official ceremony will start at 3. It will include a speech from Poudre Fire Authority Division Chief of Operations Rick Vandervelde. After the ceremony, community members can talk with firefighters who were deployed to the World Trade Center and firefighters who helped bring the beam to Fort Collins. The beam first came to Fort Collins in October of 2015 and will eventually be turned into a permanent memorial in Spring Park.
The annual CSU Involvement Expo took place yesterday and earlier today. The expo gives students a chance to meet and talk with all of the different organizations on campus.
The expo featured over 180 student organizations that are looking for new student members. The organizations at the expo ranged anything from snowboarding to logging.
Mainly we're a club dedicated to progressing our skills in the terrain park. So if you have some experience snowboarding, we like to invite anyone who wants to get better to come with us. We got 3 pro coaches. We'll go up every weekend, we carpool, and any tricks you want to learn, ask the coach and they'll teach you.
There are currently a little over 300 student organizations on campus, and there is something for everyone.
And this is just a great opportunity for them to network with the students and have people join the organization if they're interested. So.
Students are encouraged to join at least one organization before graduating to be more involved in the community and on campus.
in reality, if you're really intentional with your involvement, you can really do well and it will really nourish you. So I think everybody should try to get involved in at least one thing outside of class.
Well, we're kind of a competitive lumberjack team. We go to all these different schools and we compete in chopping events, chainsaw events, tree climbing events. And if people want to get involved, they can come out to our field. It's on the corner of Overland and Vine. We practice every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 4:30 to 6.
If you didn't have a chance to make it out to the Involvement Expo and are looking to join a new organization, you can stop by the Slice office in the LSC or go online to www.lsc.coloradostate.edu/get-involved.
A fire restriction for unincorporated areas of Larimer County has been extended until September 17th. The ban is in place due to the high winds plus dry and hot conditions which have caused Larimer County to be susceptible to wildfires. On Sunday, a wildfire started on the edge of Larimer County and then developed into a 350-acre fire. 2 days after the fire started, the ban was extended. The fire restrictions include any open fire, smoking in public, fireworks, and more. Anyone who does violate the restrictions will be fined.
Former NASA astronaut and director of CSU's Systems Engineering program will soon be inducted into the Colorado Space Heroes Hall of Fame. Dr. Ron Sega, who became an astronaut in 1991, will be recognized in October by Colorado Governor John Hickenlooper. He is receiving the honor for his work as an astronaut in the NASA program as Director of Systems Engineering at CSU and for his first time at the Department of Defense and U.S. Air Force. Since 2007, Sega has worked on the CSU faculty promoting systems engineering while educating students. Coming up next, Nicole Conklin has your weekly weather forecast.
Looks like we're in for a nice weekend.
Tune in to KCSU, your student-run radio station at Colorado State University. Live 24 hours a day, every day at 90.5 FM and kcsufm.com. Live local new music now, and news, talk, and sports. KCSU, the radio voice of Colorado State, on the air since 1964.
You're watching CTV, produced by Colorado State University students, bringing you news, weather, sports, and entertainment from campus and beyond. CTV live Monday through Thursday at 7 p.m. on campus and Fort Collins on Channel 11. Repeats at midnight, 8 a.m., noon, and 2 p.m.
The Rocky Mountain Collegian is your student-run news and information platform. Pick up your paper on campus or around Fort Collins Monday through Thursday with special editions Fridays. And check out collegian.com anytime for all the latest updates. News, sports, entertainment, opinion, and more. The Rocky Mountain Collegian, serving Colorado State since 1891.
College Avenue has been your student magazine for the last 10 years. College Avenue prints once a month covering topics that are relevant to the CSU and Fort Collins community. We also print special editions like the graduation guides at the end of each semester, the best of CSU each fall, and the orientation guide each summer. Look for us on racks around campus, off campus, or online at collegian.com under the College Avenue tab.
Good evening and welcome back. I am Nicole Conklin, your weather anchor for this lovely Thursday evening. We have our live cam up here at CSU and it is beautiful. We are catching the very beginning of the sunset. Sunset nowadays is around 7:20 and it's going to be around 7:10 next week and even earlier as we get closer to fall and into winter. We had a lovely day today. We were in the low 80s. It was a pretty warm one, but still beautiful. Right now in Fort Collins, it's about 79 degrees. Still really nice because of that sun still up. Going to get cooler as the night continues. We have surface winds around 6 miles an hour, but a mostly clear night tonight. It's going to be really nice. Looking at state lows, we have a 39 in Craig and a 41 in Vail, so we're going to be hovering around the low 40s, high 30s. In our neck of the woods, it's going to be a low, of 51 in Fort Collins. It's going to be a beautiful, clear night. Going down the I-25 corridor, though, we're going to be 55 in Denver, 54 Colorado Springs, and a warm 58 in Pueblo. Getting into fall, though, those temperatures are going to drop. looking at the state highs for tomorrow, it's going to be pretty similar to what it was like today. Really beautiful outside. On the western slope, we have an 87 in Grand Junction. That's going to be one of the warmer temperatures on this side of the state. Up in Fort Collins, we have a high of 77 tomorrow. It's going to be beautiful, not too hot. Down in Denver, we have a 74, getting warmer as we go more south, 80 Colorado Springs, 86 in Pueblo. The Eastern Plains are going to be a lot warmer, 74 in Lyman, 77 in Burlington. Overall, a pretty nice day in Colorado. It's finally Friday. We're going to have a nice day. Like I've said 100 times, 8 a.m. It's going to be 56, cool and clear, and it's going to stay clear all day. Around noon, it's going to be up to 73, staying in the 73 area all the way till 4 p.m., and we're not going to drop again until 7:30 tomorrow night. It's going to be a nice day because of those 70s. It's not going to be too hot, so go outside, take advantage of the weather, and this weekend is going to be even warmer. So if you're planning on going to the football game, you are in luck. Saturday is going to be a high of 81, getting even warmer Sunday, 89 degrees, but we're still going to be nice and clear. Not a lot of cloud coverage until we get over to Tuesday. We have a high of 61 and a chance of rain, but no worries. We're warming back up to the mid 70s for the rest of the week. That's all the weather updates I have tonight, but stay tuned because Aislyn Carrillo has the update in the world of Ram sports.
Me and my boy Matt had it good. He had catnip that was off the hook. But one day, he brings a girl home, and she's allergic to cats. Every sneeze was a nail in my coffin. Now I'm in a shelter. It's decent, but they don't even have Wi-Fi.
Good evening, and thank you for tuning in to CTV Sports. I'm Aislyn Carrillo. CSU Athletics has an action-packed weekend as volleyball is back at home and football opens up its final season at Hughes Stadium. Right now, CSU volleyball is in the midst of its match against Wichita State. The game actually started right at 7, so it is in the beginning still, but make sure to check out our YouTube page for full coverage of the game. Tomorrow night, the volleyball team will host third-ranked University of Texas at 7. The past 2 years, the Longhorns have developed a trend of sweeping the Rams, but haven't exceeded more than an 8-point lead closing out a set. In last year's match, Adriana Colbert, Alex Reed, and Acacia Andrews brought in the most points for the Rams. But with all of the leading scorers absent from the current roster, there will be a definite change in spotlight. Aside from the small handful of returning players, the majority of the team is first-year collegiate athletes. With that being said, there are as many as 6 players that could have a significant role this season. In other news, the Farewell Hughes hashtag will hit a little deeper this weekend as the CSU football team will play UTSA in its final first game at what has been the Rams' home field for almost 50 years. Last time CSU met with the Roadrunners, the Rams took home the W with a final score of 33-31. CSU alum Jason Oden made his mark in the game with 30 carries for 143 yards and 1 touchdown. Without Oden this season, the Rams can expect their starting running back, Dalen Dawkins, and CSU's #1 slot receiver, Marcus Wilson, to rack up some points for the Rams. Heading into this game, there are a variety of factors that could have a positive impact on CSU. UTSA may be at a disadvantage due to its previous season record of 3-9 and the Roadrunners' fresh start with head coach Frank Wilson. Things might turn around this weekend for CSU as Coach Bobo has made the decision to put Fatone Bauda in as starting quarterback.
He has to play the quarterback position, and he's got to do a good job of it. He's done a good job this week. There's still some things that we need to improve on at that position. All 3 guys, we're not where we want to be, but we're going to get better.
CSU basketball is still months away from opening up its season, but that doesn't mean the Rams aren't thinking about the future of their program. Earlier this week, Coach Larry Eustace added sophomore transfer Kevin Dorsey to the roster. But due to NCAA transfer rules, Dorsey will sit out the 2016-17 season. However, he is expected to hit the court next year. Yesterday, it was announced that CSU and multiple Fort Collins organizations have collaborated with Boulder Inc. to put on its first annual Fortitude Labor Day 10K Classic. This race will become a Labor Day tradition as it will take runners on a course that shows the true beauty of Fort Collins, such as City Park, CSU's Oval, and much more. Those who participate in the event will finish off the race at CSU's new on-campus stadium and get a sneak peek at it the week before CSU football kicks off its season there. Registration opens up November 1st and can be accessed at www.fortitude10k.com. Well, that is the latest in the world of Rams sports. Emma Iannacone is up next with entertainment.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self, and I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
CTV is back with all the entertainment updates your heart desires. I'm entertainment anchor Emma Iannacone. The end of summer is upon us, which means no more suntans, shorts, or sitting poolside. One local outdoor pool has closed its doors and drained the water, but not before going out with a bang. Or should I say bark? I'm here at the City Park pool with my furry friend Sophie, and she got to take a dip in the pool before the end of the summer. Let's go check out these adorable dogs.
This is the 13th annual Pooch Plunge at the public pool.
We're not sure how many dogs we have this year. We know that last year we had 600 dogs attend the plunge, and we're anticipating more dogs this year because the weather is so great. Last year we had a little bit of a cloud, and this year it's just bluebird skies.
Lifeguards were working the event to ensure safety for all the dogs.
City Park pool closes today. This is our last day, and so the last day of summer we let the dogs come into the pool and play and have their way, and then we'll drain the pool for the winter.
The pups enjoyed running with friends, chasing balls, and jumping into the nice cold water.
Pooch Plunge is one of our favorite events for the City of Fort Collins Recreation Department. It's a time when we can connect to our pet lovers in the community. We host a lot of programming for families, youth and seniors as well. And this is a time where we can bring in those other folks who really show their love and compassion for their pets and have a great day at City Park Pool.
I asked my friend Sophie if she was having fun at the Pooch Plunge, and she said yes.
Sophie, having fun?
The pool is expected to reopen Memorial Day weekend, which means it's going to be a long, cold winter. Good thing we've got those pups to keep us warm. While these dogs were too nice to bite, this beer will chomp your taste buds. Tomorrow night, one of Fort Collins' favorite restaurants, CB & Potts, is hosting a tapping party to celebrate their newest beer. The brew is in honor of the famous 15-foot-long, 250-pound shark that hung from the ceiling of the former location on Elizabeth. The shark didn't make it to the new location at the Foothills Mall, but exciting plans for where the shark will swim next are going to be announced at the event on September 9th. The party will be held at CB & Potts Brewery and Tap House on Campus West, so be sure to check out that new draft and let me know if it tastes a little fishy. Everyone's favorite chemistry teacher, Brian Cranston, who you may know better as Walter White, will be visiting the Alamo Draft House in Littleton, Colorado as part of his book tour. His novel, A Life in Parts, is expected to release on October 18th, one day after his event in Littleton. Tickets went on sale yesterday at 9 a.m., or so the Facebook page said. Many fans of the Breaking Bad star were very distraught when VIP tickets were already sold out by 8:45 a.m. The host of the event, the Tattered Cover Bookstore, is apologizing to fans, saying, "We are doing everything that we can to make sure our customers feel appreciated and well cared for." It turns out that there was an error in the ticketing system, but that doesn't seem to be consoling fans. However, general admission tickets are still on sale for those who are interested. Last week, I told you about Chris Brown pulling a gun on a woman for looking at his jewelry. Well, this week's story is a little similar. Another hip-hop artist, Drake, had $3 million worth of jewelry stolen from his tour bus on Tuesday night. According to CBC Toronto, the thief had entered the bus at 10 p.m. during the artist's concert and took a briefcase with the jewelry in it. Luckily, it was all caught on tape and the police were able to arrest the man and return Drake's jewelry safe and sound. I guess we can all understand Chris being overprotective about his jewelry now, but I still think he overreacted just a little bit. That's it for tonight. Be sure to tune in next week for a recap on the home game against UTSA. I'll see you at Hughes Stadium cheering on our football team, so lock up that jewelry and have a good night, Rams.
This is CSU TV 11 from Colorado State University, featuring university programs.